Hey there. Oops, let me adjust my camera just a smidge. Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's a sunny day here and so deceiving because it's really, really cold and yet the sun's shining bright. So I guess I'll just take the sunshine and go with it because I love sunshine. And so with the sunshine, I thought, well, let's make something that looks a little tropical today for a card idea. And so I kind of came up with a fun panoramic card today. Here's the card. I made two of them actually, and I felt like the first one was opposite what it should be. So how fun is this for like a fun congratulations card or something? So when it's put in the envelope, it'll look like well done. And then on that thing you did, hey there, Shelly. Hi, Rosine. I think I missed a couple of the first ones joining in, but thanks so much for popping in. So fun little panoramic card. The first one I did looks just like that too, but I felt like the sentiments were a little mixed up the way they should. And right now my card's actually backwards when you look at me like this on Facebook Live at this angle anyway. So so I probably should just get it turned around and start designing for you. I don't know why my iPad here doesn't always want to catch up with me, but I think it is. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to set it down because I think it's actually working today, which is great. All right, so I'll set that down, and then I'm going to swing my camera around here so that you can see not all my cardstock, but can see what I'm going to do. Thanks so much, Shelly. Yeah, I had a lot of fun putting it together for you guys, so that was kind of cool to be able to I don't know, put it together and it just kind of came together as it came together. So that's always a nice surprise too. Hey there, Linda. Okay, so I will show you this way because this will make more sense. So this was the first card I did, and I stamped right on the designer series paper here, and I put the sentiment here. And before I had this on, I just kind of thought, oh, how fun to put like a whale done with the whale. And yet it kind of seemed like they were backwards, but yet it's not terrible. Like if I got a card that looked like that, I'd be like, oh, that's a cute card. I love it. But switching it this way, I just preferred it better. Maybe that's the way I should say it. Not that one is right or wrong, but just maybe preference. So there we go. So it's like a little panoramic card today. Hi there, Diane. All right, so I'm going to make the card this way there for you guys. And before I get started, I always like to kind of show you where things come from. So from the annual catalog here, retiring is the stamp set. Here's the card. And so the sentiment today, let's see, where is it on there? Oh, yeah. On that thing you did, I'd give you a standing ovation, but here's a card instead. So that is from page 39 in the annual catalog, and that is retiring. So get that while it's gone, or before it's gone, or while it's here, I should say. And then if you flip to page 94 in the annual catalog, I'm going to kind of just go through some things. So there is the whale done and the punch. These are returning, so don't be too alarmed about getting right on this. So the punch and the stamp set, they're returning, but they'll probably be separate prices. Right now, if you buy the two together, it's a 10% savings. So with that, I'd like to let you know the cute paper, that is retiring, and that's kind of what's stealing the show in today's card. A lot of you have it, so I thought it's not like you have to buy it if you already have it, and this will give you a fun and great idea to use using that paper. And then other things that make up the suite or the collection that I'm not using today but just wanted to show you is the Seabed 3D embossing folder. This is retiring, and this goes great with making some seascapes and making that kind of come alive. That's retiring. And then part of the collection is that fun sheer pool party ribbon. That is staying. So don't be alarmed. I go through tons of this, and I know it's been one of my top selling ribbons. That is sticking around. So you'll see that in the new annual catalog. These are retiring too, and these are those fun little sequins that look like they're part of the seabed that if you go on tropical trips, that looks like something you'd see in the sand when you're you're there. How fun if you want to make a shaker card out of those, and especially now that I showed you how to make that easier shaker card. This is retiring, so that kind of gives you an idea of what to look for. And I think my favorite part of the collection is just staring at this page in the catalog on page 95, because they give us so many great ideas of what to do with the Fun Designer Series paper. And so I have a couple packs of these, and I always put just my scraps into one. And I could tell like I must have been having fun with you guys for a while with the whale punch here, and punching out some of the larger whales. It's just so easy to feed that right in there and punch that out. Today I'm using some of the smaller whales so that they don't fit in the punch, but I'm going to hand cut those for you guys. But just all sorts of fun different papers in here too. So I'm going to show you maybe some different papers that would work for the card that I'm using too. Okay, so oh, here I have them all laid out. So this is the paper that I'm using today, and I'm kind of starting from scratch so you can see how I cut this. And I thought, because I'm using the turtle, this could be another fun alternative. And I love having alternatives because maybe based on the number of cards I make and send out for you guys for Stamp Camp, some of you might get this card, some of you might get the original card. I've had it where I've made up all my original cards, had to go to the alternative, and ended up liking the alternative even more than the original that I was supposed to send out. And then this could make a fun one too, but I don't always know if I want to cut into this one, because this is the one that has all the fun whales that can be either hand cut or punched out with the punch too. So those are some of the ideas from the 6x6 Whale of a Time Designer Series paper. Okay, so to get started, let me clear off this space because, like I said, I kind of wanted to show you step by step without getting too lengthy, but I did cut some things down ahead to make it go quicker. And so I'm starting out with, this is Pacific Point, an 8.5 by 11 cut in half the long way. So this is 11 by 4 1/4. Hi there, Julie. So I have this, and I make a lot of cards folded in half. So I'm going to score this. Just, yep, that's hitting my camera angle. I just want to make sure. So I'm going to score this at 5 1/2. with my scoring blade, which is the light blade, and then I'm going to scoot it to 2.75 and then just score again, and that's going to kind of give us our base here. And a lot of times I have that folding kind of this way and then an accordion that way, but I kind of want the seascape to be there and fold it this way. So I'm going to take out my bone folder and give that a good crease here. Whoops. And a good crease here, just so that by adding the bulk like I am today, I want to make sure my creases are good so that when it fits in an envelope, it doesn't get too bulky either. And then I'm taking the Just Jade color, because when I look at what colors are listed on the Designer Series paper here, Just Jade is listed. And that really makes that pop, as well as the Pacific Point. So that's where these two colors are coming together. And then before I get too far, I'm all hands today, I'm just going to cut this down. So this 6x6 is going to be cut 5 inches. We're just going to trim off the side and have this strip be a scrap used for later somehow. And then to make this be one part of the card and then the other part, this is going to be cut at 3.75 there. And I want, excuse me, the majority to be the piece with the little crabs on it. And then the side that doesn't have the little crabs, that's going to be the shorter side there. So we're getting this whole card front done with just one sheet of the 6x6 that way. So that way you can kind of see how it's coming together, especially those of you that pop on a little bit later. And before I get too far with assembling, I have 2 sheets that Just Jade that I talked about. These are cut 5 1/4 by 4, both of them the same. I'm going to take one of those and just kind of go in between 2.5 and 2.75, which is probably 2, 3, 4, 5/8 if I get my math right there. So 2 5/8. I'm just going to score that. And then this little piece too, I might give it a slight score, but let's see, this is 5 inches, so I'm going to go 2.5 there and give it a slight score. A lot of this with this piece might just be kind of plopping it and making it stick to layer after layer. So I'm going to set aside my trimmer for now and see if I need it later. Now I'm just going to do some assembling, and I'm going to take this cute paper here and just stick that onto the Just Jade solid piece here, not the scored one, and that goes on like so, and then I can just turn that over and assemble that by sticking that onto the Pacific Point like so. Okay, so we've got that going there. Hi there, Robin. Good to see you on here. And like I said, these colors together, the Just Jade and the Pacific Point with that whole underwater theme, just really make everything pop. And we're not even like halfway done. And so I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive here, here and there. I'm going to give this a little crease where I've scored it in half there. And I just kind of want to almost like tent that over that layer like so. Kind of gets tricky because, oops, I don't want it crooked though. It gets tricky because I want it to fold, but I also want it to lay flat. So having a little bit of give with the adhesive is kind of the key, because I feel like if I get the adhesive stuck really well, then it sticks so well that it wants to pop, and that's not good either. And then I'm going to take and just put just a tad bit of adhesive on that layer here of that next seascape, and just lining up that scoring there and just kind of tap it there. And then when I fold it and lay it flat like so, it might pucker a little bit on that third layer just because there's so much, but it's not the worst thing. So that still folds because you do want it to fold, and that works out pretty well like so. Okay, so we have the basis of the card already then set up with all of that. Hey there, Pam. Pam has snow in the Black Hills where she's watching from today, and I can't believe that. I know it's cold here, but at least it's sunny and not snowing, so we don't have it so bad. Okay, next I'm going to do my stamping, and when I started this card, I thought this turtle was going to be my focal point. And so I stamped out this turtle, and I got out my blends, and I stamped him first in Just Jade. I got out my blends, my pretty peacock, and kind of filled in some of the shell with the lighter peacock, and the darker one I made kind of a little bit of a, like a little bit of a, line there, because I was kind of looking over here and I thought, okay, does that kind of look like that? But the more I colored in, the more I felt like I had colored in something that looked like my 3.5-year-old grandson did. So I didn't like that. So that's getting put aside. Not that it's the worst. He's actually really talented, but it was just like, I wasn't liking how that was coming together, but I still wanted to do something with that turtle. Hi there, Jane. Hi there, Lana. So with the Just Jade ink pad, I'm going to ink that up, and the turtle is going to be part of my card, but it's going to almost look like it's part of that background paper. So let me ink that up, and ta-da, look how fun that looks in there. It looks like it was meant to be part of the paper. So I'm going to add just a couple more of the turtle, one going up and one kind of diving down. So I'm able to add 3 turtles to the card without it taking over the card now, and just still looking like it's supposed to be part of it. And then for my sentiment, from that same stamp set, there's the whale done, and so I'm going to ink that up with Pacific Point. So the whale done can be obviously for anything that you're congratulating somebody on, mentioning something great that they've done. And sometimes we just don't do enough of that, sending a card for that occasion. I think this could almost be a fun and interesting graduation card too, with the whale done, and that would make, I don't know, kind of just a fun little card to send or deliver that special day. And so those 2 stamps are from the whale Whale Done stamp set. And then on that thing you did, this is from the Here's a Card stamp set that has that whole variety of different sentiments too. So I'm just going to get that centered over here and stamp that down in the Pacific Point too. So on that thing you did, I give you a standing ovation, but here's a card instead. So now when it's folded together in the envelope, when they open it, then they see all the turtles and they see both the main sentiment and kind of the inside, but it's going to be on the outside. Hey there, Linda. But now, usually this is the point where I say, here's where I'm going to add my accessories and the inside of the card. There's really no inside to the card. So if you're signing it, you would do your little hey here. And because the recipient might actually have this, you know, spread out on their desk, you might have to use your best handwriting when you write that and nothing too personal because it's probably gonna, you know, lay kind of open. Okay, but I do have embellishments and fun things to add. So like I said, earlier, there's this fun paper that we could make a card out of, but on the back side, that's where all the whales are. And I was going to maybe have some of these cut out ahead of time for, you know, just to make the presentation go a little quicker for you. But I'm like, you know what? I haven't like fussy cut for you guys for a while. And some people are like, you know, like you really can fussy cut and that really works. So I'm going to see if I can keep it. Sometimes the hardest thing is just keeping it in the camera angle because I sometimes just want to get it closer. I don't know if you guys struggle with that, but as I have aged this year, I have noticed that I have to get things a little closer when I cut them or have a little bit more light on my projects. And I'm like, this isn't fun. And I should have thought and put my glasses on even before I did this because I'm at that age now too where I think it's kind of fun to wear glasses again. And not that it's fun, but necessary, put it that way. Okay, so I have this little guy here, which I think is kind of cute. And then part of what I think is fun about all these different size whales, so I'm using kind of a medium size one and the small one, is in there. In the stamp set, there's that one sentiment that says you're kind of a big deal. And so to have that big whale in with that is kind of neat too. And I have used that for a few other cards that whoops, there I'm off camera already. I've used that sentiment a few times with you guys when I've done some videos and creations to inspire you online. So I didn't want to just keep using that same sentiment, even though it probably is my favorite one out of that, just because it goes so well with the whales. Oops, I'm just going to get this last little edge. There we go. Okay, so I have all these little scraps here. Going to get that off camera and clean up my space a little bit here. And then it's just a matter of attaching it and then the card's about done. So let me grab one dimensional for this little guy and I'm going to put him here. I kind of want to back that dimensional as close to his tail as I can because his nose is going to stick out over the fold. So I'm going to kind of put him here so he's popped up, but then when the card's folded, he kind of like hangs over in a fun way. So he's popped up on there safely, but kind of gives it a 3D fun look like that. And then for the larger one, I'm just going to put a couple more dimensionals here on the larger one, which is still really the medium whale here. And I'm just going to have that guy then with a couple dimensionals diving down into there too. And kind of the nice thing is there's like purplish tones, blue tones, that just jade and black, whoops, and navy. So there's kind of all different colors to work with too. So, and Pam's asking, is Whale Done carrying over? So earlier in the video, I kind of went over in specifics like which products in the whole suite are carrying over and which ones aren't. So that just like a quick overview, the paper is not carrying over, but the punch and the stamp set is. So, and like I said, there's a few more products. And if you want to watch replay in the beginning, I covered that pretty quick. So, but good question. I love your guys' questions. All right. So the only other thing that I want to add for this is just a little embellishment. And I thought, oh, how fun could this be to have some little bubbles? And so the elegant faceted gems I've used for some pretty elegant occasions. So kind of that vanilla color and then petal pink. And here's some clear ones. And hopefully the camera will kind of catch this. They kind of have a little, there we go, it did, a little etching on there. So if you see like a crisscross pattern, I think that's kind of fun. So I'm going to pick up a large one with my pick tool here and just kind of place that above the blowhole there. And I'm going to take the smaller and just kind of keep going up that angle. So that adds just a fun little touch. So 2 little dots there, and I'm not going to do anything over here just because there's so little space to write there, but I just thought that really added a fun touch. So that is today's panoramic little fun fold card for you guys with the Well Done suite of products. So hope you enjoy that. I kind of did. It was kind of fun, like I said. So that is card number 12 for the month of April already. So just cruising along with lots of ideas for you guys. And I think what keeps me going is I look at my box that I've pulled out of my supplies of things that are retiring, and I'm like, I just have to show you guys one more thing with this or that, and it makes it fun. But so I will be continuing on through the week and giving you some retiring ideas, and then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is when I will be demoing for the new hostess, Lois Anderson. So she's doing an overlap for those of you that are interested in ordering, and some of you already have, and I'm letting her know that because she so appreciates it. So her party will be a mix. So I will do like a card with a retiring product, and I'll do a card or two with new products to kind of give you a sneak peek heads up of what's going to be coming out there too. So thanks, Pam. Yeah, that would be great. And yes, Linda, it does kind of make a fun card, and it makes, I think all of us maybe look at our designer series paper different and go, gosh, is there any other paper that I have that you can stamp on? Maybe that might inspire you to stamp on our designer series paper, because sometimes we forget we can do that. And another thing, can we kind of spread it out and make kind of a little panoramic seascape, or, you know, any kind of background outdoorsy theme or something like that too. So I hope I gave you some ideas on how to use your products differently that you already have. So to get my 10-pack of cards for this month, if you're interested in ordering and have a minimum order of $75 and use the April Stamp Camp host code, then you'll get my pack of 10 cards for free. And if you just want the 10-pack, just say, hey, Belle, I'm interested in the cards, and they're $22. And some of you even say, hey, put me down for the cards for the month. That way it gives me an idea, and then you still have kind of the rest of the month to decide if you want to order or not. And so if you end up ordering at the end, I don't charge you. So it kind of works out well that way too, but I do appreciate, if you don't order, getting paid eventually. So that's always my goal, is to get paid for the work that I do. Even though it's not that hard of work, it's still work, and it still takes time away from my family and such. So I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon when I come up with idea number 13 for the month and bring you that tomorrow afternoon. See you then. Take care.